Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for episode 2 of Spoiler Alert. So, this is, of course, the episode where pretty much anything goes. You guys can talk spoiler about pretty much anything, except I just gave it the caveat it has to have been out already. So, no Black Widow spoilers, nothing like that, stuff that hasn't come out as of yet. So, that's the only caveat on this. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. Um, if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. One of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. Also, if you want to know when I'm be on live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media up there. So Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. And I also have links to my pages here, my YouTube channel page, my Facebook page. And for those of you who still have Facebook, a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff and chat amongst yourselves. All right. So, like I said, spoiler alerts. There's spoilers abounding here. So, if you don't want to be spoiled by anything, leave, and you can come on back to one of the other, shows that I have here, and get spoiled on those. All right. So, who's here? Anybody here? Anybody want to talk spoilers? Anything like that? I just watched Fat Man last night on Peacock. Peacock has it with the commercials and all that kind of stuff. I'm glad I saw it with commercials. I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. That's the Mel Gibson movie where he plays Santa, and Walter Goggins, the hitman that's hired by some overprivileged kid to kill Santa because Santa left him a lump of coal for Christmas. Yeah. And of course, the hitman also has his own personal vendetta as well because he's only ever received one gift from Santa his entire life. And, he has it in for Santa as well. So that was interesting. I don't know if it was an interesting exercise, shall we say, in movies. Nothing spoilery. I mean, you know, yes, he goes after Santa and he doesn't make it. Let's just say. There you go, spoiled. We're off to a good start. Anybody out there? Anybody want to talk spoilers or what? I also saw the new Superman episode. Superman and Lois, I should say, episode. It's good. I mean, I actually like this show. I like this show a lot better than I do um previous incantations. Hey, Jay Hicks. My dog is staring at the patio door and she's wondering if she can reach the handle. Now she's disappointed. Um and I saw the new trailer for Stargirl as well for season 2, and it looks like they're introducing Green Lantern's daughter, which is kind of weird. So, hey Stanley, hey Joker. So, you tell me, Joe, what show are you guys watching, or this is anything you guys want to talk about, spoiler wise. I mean, you want to talk about Loki? You guys want to talk about I don't know, Bad Batch? This is where you guys can talk spoiler stuff without having to worry about spoiling other people. Stuff that's already been out, you know? So go for it. Otherwise, this might be a short fucking episode. Last week's episode was okay. We had some good discussion on some stuff. Yeah, I'm still like with Loki right now. I'm fairly sure that Enchantress or Sylvie has Loki in her world, in his mind. So I'm fairly sure that's what's going on there, that they're not trapped on Lamentus 1. Yeah, she's just trying to get him to pull out the temp pad. Who is framing who? Uh, you mean in Loki? I don't know. Is the temp pad still okay? I'm fairly sure the temp pad is. That's the reason why she's trying to, get him to. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong about this too, and maybe they actually are stuck on Lamentus 1, which would be interesting to see how they get off of it. Mobius could come to the rescue too. Who knows? We'll see. In the next episode, I know we're supposed to see Sylvie's childhood at some point. So yeah, we're going to see all that as well. And I want to say it's going to be this next episode. There was something interesting. The director of this series said something that Sylvie basically is part of Lady Loki and part of Enchantress. Not so much in that way, but that's what they were kind of getting at in this interview that they did. And yeah, so it's one of those bastardized kind of thing that they're doing, or they're melding comic book lore and comic book characters with the MCU characters too. Doctor Who's first companion passed away, huh? Stanley said, I found this difference between set and the volume pretty obvious this episode. Uh, I wasn't looking for it, honestly, Stanley, so I couldn't tell. Well, then again, like I said, I wasn't looking for it, so who knows? But then again, I've only watched it once. Trying to think what else I've been watching. We can talk Rick and Morty if you want to. That first episode with Mr. Nimbus. That was actually kind of funny. Oh, you think the purple tint was what gave it away on the difference between the set and the volume? It could do that. I mean, certain colors will definitely spell out, you know, endpoints and stuff like that. You're able to see them a little bit better. And purple is one of those colors that you use for night vision. Yeah, it was a fun episode. I mean, that first episode was a fun episode. The whole thing with Jessica now knowing all of time, and it was just wrong. It really was. Although I am getting tired of them. So I put in a the month long free subscription to Hulu, the trial to Hulu, to take a look at what's on there. I tried watching the first episode of Modoc, which was fucking horrible. It was the most horrendous thing. I didn't laugh once, and I fell asleep 15 minutes into it. Actually, 10 minutes into it. I woke up at the 15-minute mark, and that was just fucking horrendous. I turned it off. But I did watch the first episode of Motherland, Fort Salem, and then I was watching Solar Opposite season 2, and Solar Opposite season 2 feels a lot like Rick and Morty because, of course, same creators and whatnot. And yeah, I'm kind of getting tired of them using old movies as the tropes to every episode. Like, what was it? They used the lake house for one of the episodes in Solar Opposites, and in what was it? I forget what they used for this one for Rick and Morty. No, she says, "Fuck off, I'm a time god," is what she says, Stanley, which I thought was funny that she actually swore. Stanley said, "I found MODOK a little tedious at first, but I pushed through." I couldn't do it, man. It's boring, like, absolutely boring. It's the perfect cure for narcolepsy. I mean, excuse me, for, insomnia. Narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is what happens when you watch MODOK. Yeah, that was just horribly bad. It's just unfunny. It really is unfunny, and I am not a Patton Oswalt fan to begin with, and I just found this even worse. It was a painful thing to go through. That's all I can say. And I actually like the character MODOK, as you can well, you can't tell from here, but, here, let me just pan down just a little bit, but, you still can't see him. But there's a what this thing is resting in, what the, that thing is resting in is actually a MODOK tiki mug. Have you discussed the Lego Loki spoiler for an upcoming character? No, I haven't heard of the Lego Loki spoiler. Did Toys spoil an episode again or something again? Let me see what Lego Loki. Uh, Upcoming Lego minifig. Upcoming unveils a new ally for the God of Mischief. Mm-mm. Let's see what we got here. And huh, I'm not seeing it now. Uh, Loki figure comes bundled with Throg. That's all I'm seeing. Yeah, spoil away, Raymond. Applecrow says, I keep seeing people trying to make a big deal out of renaming the Lego Slave One to Boba Fett's ship when the only toy they are renaming so that people are searching for don't. Yeah, they're calling it Boba Fett's ship. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything, Raymond, when I'm looking. Yeah. Uh, has Loki revealed a rumored Lego Marvel minifig? Uh, okay, there's something else here. What is that? Custom minifig. It's a YouTube thing. Yeah, Throg is Frog Thor. That's correct. Yeah. Just like when you two hard drives in PC. Oh yeah. You're talking about a slave drive and a master drive, yes. That's what they used to call it. They don't call it anymore that in technical manuals. It's now called something else. It is called a primary drive and a secondary drive is what it's called now. Yes. You don't use the other language because yes, it was problematic even back then. Primary drive and a secondary drive. The primary drive drives the secondary drive. There you go. It's fairly easy to, and it's not that big of a deal changing that out. All right, yeah, I'm not seeing anything on spoiler for Loki, Lego. There's the What If Lego Loki with, the Throg. But, so what do you got, Raymond? Tell us. You're keeping us in suspense here. Applecrow says, "Do you know what happens when Frog Thor is struck by lightning?" Yeah, yeah. That was Simon Kinberg. You can punch him in the face for that one, Applecrow. Simon Kinberg is the one who wrote that stupid line that Storm says in X-Men. Wow. Did Cad die on Bad Batch? No, he did not. He got the shit kicked out of him by Fennec Shand, but he did not die. No, he's still looking for Omega. Raven says, "Oh, Throg was for the What If. I thought it was for the Loki show." Nope, it's for the What If. Yeah. See, you got our hopes up there, Raymond, and then you just dashed them just like that. No, it happens. I'm actually looking forward to the What If. Marvel's What If. That's in August. Yeah, it's in August. That'll be fun. I mean, also, I'm looking forward to Jeffrey Wright's The Watcher as well, since he is going to be the host of that, just like he was in the comics. And having Peggy Carter come back. Why the erratic schedule for Superman and Lois? I don't know, Stanley. I think it's growing pains over at CW. So I know CW is supposed to be moving to 7 days a week now instead of the 5 days a week that they were going to. So maybe that's what it is they're trying to they're trying to program out their scheduling. And I think that's the reason why they're fucking with things like Superman and Lois. Batwoman had some weird scheduling stuff. Kung Fu had a couple of days or a couple of weeks that were missed. I think that's the reason why they're doing that. They're trying to figure out what they want to do with scheduling. Seven days a week of Berlanti shows. That's all it is. They should just rename it the Berlantiverse, the Berlanti channel. He's only got like 21 shows in production. And I'm not kidding you. He literally has 21 shows in production right now under Greg Berlanti. He might have more now at this point. He might have 24. Just as we were speaking, he added 5 more. So he's now up to 29. That's how it happens. He's got his hand in everything. He really does. Anything else you guys want to talk about? No, nothing. Anything? I'm at a loss here at the moment. Yesterday, I had to cancel Saturday morning blast off. I had some issues that arose here at home, so I needed to take care of them. At least Kurtzman and Chuck Lorre don't have that many yet. They're trying to, though. Apple Crow, they are trying. I have not seen The Long Halloween Part 1 yet. Is that out? Oh, yeah, it is out. I know what it was. I was waiting until Part 2 dropped. I don't like when they split up the animation like that, especially for an entire story. They did the same thing for The Dark Knight, the one that Peter Weller was voicing, and I waited until they released both movies, and then I just bought it on Blu-ray or 4K. And just watched it as one long ass movie, which is actually really good. Because Peter Weller as the Dark Knight was he's a perfect voice for it. He really is. He has that drawl. and the gravel to the voice kind of thing as he does it. How did I like Motherland season 2, episode 1? It was okay, Stanley. Like I said briefly, I think on Friday that I'm not going to cover it episode by episode. I'm probably just going to do another. Is it worth your time? I can't really cover it. It's a show that doesn't. It doesn't warrant. I can't do an episode by episode review of it. It's just too short of stuff to do. But it was all right. Raven says Jensen Ackles makes a good Batman, and Troy Baker is spot on with his Hamill joke. Yeah. Oh, that was kind of funny. Jensen Ackles actually said that he is producing a supernatural prequel where it's called the Winchesters, where John and Mary, Sam and Dean's mother and father, where they first meet and all that kind of stuff. And that's what the whole thing is. And Jensen Ackles is supposed to be doing the voiceover for it, and he's actually acting as producer. And I guess he didn't tell Padalecki anything about it. And so Padalecki's like, dude, this is the first time I'm hearing about it on Twitter. So they literally over Twitter is where they were hashing this thing out. And it was kind of funny. Also kind of not at the same time. But they patched everything up fairly quickly. Stanley said the CGI was pretty bad in a few places, but as a whole, it was okay for me. I don't think I was watching it that closely, Stanley. So what happens is if I start floating, if my attention wavers, I will start doing other things in the house or on my phone or stuff like that. So yeah, I'm thinking that's what happened. Joker. So I watched a fun heist action foreign Korean movie called Thieves. It's long but has great pacing. Okay. Do they really have troubles on set? It's an anime. What are you talking about? The supernatural things live action that I'm talking about. The show Supernatural. Apocryph says I loved the Long Halloween comic and guessed holiday correctly. Okay. Oh, the centipedes. So it's freeform, Stanley. I knew the freeform is the low rent version of ABC. It's kind of like FX. Yeah, it's kind of the FX to Fox, is what it is. Same difference. And so they don't have that much budget to work with. And what they did with the centipedes, I thought it worked pretty well. I really don't go into that show looking for like large production quality into it anyway. The story was more what I'm looking for. And their story, their world building is actually pretty good. The whole thing with the vice president's daughter you know, becoming a witch or discovering that she's a witch, and that the vice president's dead wife was probably, hey, thanks, movie. No, you didn't need to do that. But yeah, having the president's dead wife having been a witch and covered it up. And yeah. And how General Alder was saying that this sometimes happens, which I think would be interesting to kind of delve into that a little bit. I think we've been dealing too much with the military aspect of Motherland, and I'd like to see some of just the regular life stuff of people that are in this world. I mean, you're starting to see some uprising coming now too with what is it, the Spree, and you know, what's her name's mother? who headed the spree, and they went out and they were looking at a protest, if you will, of normal people. Joe Grizz is the showrunner. Behind scenes are now on their YouTube. He is breaking down everything. Like writing right now, or well, I didn't know. Sorry. Stanley says maybe soon there will be a spin-off Motherland West Wing. But I'm bumped. Yeah. See, Apple Crow, Stanley's trying to take your job, man. Oh, on Motherland Fort. Yeah. So, on Motherland Fort Salem. Okay. So, wait. So they did a YouTube, Joe Greer. They did a YouTube thing. The showrunner did one on the behind the scenes. Aren't they doing a like a Q&A, kind of like a Talking Dead kind of thing for Motherland? I thought that's what they were doing now on YouTube. I think they did it in the first season as well, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so that's the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. But okay, well, yeah, I just haven't watched it. Yeah. Stanley says there must be a reason for the colon in the name. Yeah, it's supposed to be about Fort Salem. So it's supposed to be about the academy that they're in right now is Fort Salem. So Motherland is supposed to be about, this group of witches in the United States, and then Fort Salem is where they're at right now. So it's Motherland Fort Salem where it's happening. What's the worst thing that was ever spoiled for me? Um, hmm. I know it was something on IO9. IO9 actually did something like right in the fucking title. And I want to say it was like a TV series or something like that. And it hadn't come out yet. I mean, the series wasn't going to be out for a couple of days, or the new episode. And they get, of course, advanced screenings of it, and they fucking spoiled it like literally right in the title. And I can't remember what it was too. Any news left over from yesterday? That's a good question. I don't know. I didn't really look yesterday, so I can take a look and see what we got. Da, 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 da. If I can actually get to it. There we go. Man, I swear to God, Facebook sucks sometimes. Well, not sometimes, all the time. And I'm scrolling through. Oh, yeah. So I think I already mentioned this, but Timothy Dalton might not be in season 3 of Doom Patrol because of the whole coronavirus thing. And so I guess he wasn't on set for a lot of season 3 because of the lockdowns, and he didn't want to chance anything. So we probably won't see him in season 3 as Chief. It'll be a chiefless season 3. So that was a main thing. That was actually pretty big. I already talked about the prequel to Supernatural, The Winchesters. There's an Interview with a Vampire series that's being set at AMC. So that's happening. Although, that she's been actually trying to, Anne Rice has been trying to get that on TV for the longest time. Before she became a born again Christian, She was trying to get it on TV, and then now that she's no longer a born again Christian, she's now been trying to get on TV too. So she kind of there's kind of 3 different versions of Anne Rice. There's before she was a born again Christian, then she's born again Christian, and after she became born again Christian. But yeah, there you go. Yeah. When she became a born again Christian, she kind of denounced her own works. So it was kind of a weird thing. That's the reason why I kind of lump it like that. Yeah, it's just been a very yeah. Um, how does the Christian thing go together with all the gay vampires? So yeah, that was the whole thing. It was so she was actually promoting her stuff before she became a born again Christian. Then she became a born again Christian, denounced all of her stuff, and was actually, I think, at one point trying to erase it. At one point, I don't remember exactly. I was it was tangential to some stuff that I was reading, and so I really wasn't paying that much attention to it. And then she stopped becoming a born again Christian. I don't know what was going on with in her life, but then she kind of went back and like, nope, my work's good again. I'm going to try and promote it. And I think she was even trying to do some new vampire stuff. But yeah, how can you switch your worldview like that? Don't know, Stanley. Some people do. Some people do. I mean, I know she was having some issues after her husband died, and I don't know if someone else died too, all within her family realm, and that usually switches someone's worldview quite a bit. Faith and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Joe Greer says, I really do like this show on a paywall discovery of witches with Matt Good. Not a lot of special effects, but solid acting. Oh yeah, the one that's on AMC. AMC actually now has a discovery of witches. I know that they have it up. But actually watching stuff on AMC is become a pain in the ass, quite honestly. They're behind a paywall. Sometimes they release stuff for free, and you never know really where to go to get it. And honestly, their app sucks ass. Their app is probably one of the worst things I've ever had to go through. So yeah. Oh, is that what it was, Apple? They stopped paying her to invillagize? Okay. That makes sense. Oh, Discovery of Witches is a little romancy. I thought that was what was up your alley there, Stanley. I mean, the whole Outlander stuff. I thought that was that was you, right? That's within your wheelhouse is the whole Outlander series. You're the one. Let's see what else I got here. That's pretty much it, really. I mean, there really wasn't that much else that was out there. Yeah. Mhm. Sorry, I'm just thinking of what other places I can look and see for news wise, that kind of stuff. Since people are asking. Anyone see Fast and the Furious 95 or no? Geriatric Vin Diesel. Stanley says, yes, you're right, Dennis. It is. I'm the one reading the Harlequin novels. Okay, well, at least you admit it. Oh, Alvarez, I'm being snarky. I don't know if she probably was getting paid. Who knows? Joker asked if Stanley was watching that on the Sky Network, but he used other means. I see what that is. Uh, See, they keep saying here. So I'm looking at the Hollywood Reporter. They have a thing called Heat Vision. That's their nerd page, I guess you can say. And Sophia DiMartino, who of course plays Sylvie, says they didn't on episodes 3 significant reveal. We didn't overthink it, and I'm like, well, you really didn't reveal anything because she didn't say if she was the Enchantress or if she was Loki. You just said that she didn't like being called by Loki and like Sylvie instead, and that's not really that's not really an admission that she is a Loki or isn't a Loki. So yeah. Raymond says not yet, but I'm going this week. Can someone spoil A Quiet Place 2 for me? I haven't seen A Quiet Place 2. You know, the first one really didn't do it for me. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh my god, it's such an amazing movie," and I watched the first movie. I'm like, "All right, it's good, but it's not like this. Oh my god, I need to see it." It wasn't. It really wasn't that great. It was okay. I don't know if it warranted a sequel to it. Stanley says, "I think they probably ignore the comics and make their own hybrid with Loki and I think that's what they're doing too, but I don't know. They probably don't even know either. And again, it's this whole wishy-washiness thing that kind of pisses off fans. It's the same thing that happened in WandaVision, the same thing that happened in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it's going to be the same thing that happens here in Loki. I'm not either, Stanley. I'm not getting my hopes up. I mean, there's certain things that could happen that would make sense, especially if you're going towards the MCU with this, but they're sticking pretty pedestrian on some of the stuff. They really are. They're playing it safe, unfortunately, which is kind of weird this late in the game. I mean, you've already gone big on a lot of things. Might as well just keep going big, you know? I don't know. I mean, they had the whole thing with Mobius mentioning a nightmare department. And you could have been, Mephisto could have been in the nightmare department or something like that. Or granted, yes, I mean that could have been the wink and the nudge. I don't know. Huh. Max Brooks has a Bigfoot horror thriller, Devolution, which is being made into a movie. So Max Brooks, of course, being Mel Brooks' son, who wrote World War Z. The book is really good. The movie's really shitty. So there you go. Star Wars Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron gets a writer. Okay, that's great. Oh yeah, and then Dune is moving back 3 weeks from its release date. It's going from October 1st to October 22nd. And it's also going to be available on the same day on HBO Max and in theaters, which is fine. Because quite honestly, I probably wasn't going to pay to see that in the movie theater anyway. It's Dennis Villeneuve, who I'm sorry, but I find his movies tedious and boring. I do. The TVA is Loki, for fuck's sake, is what you're saying, Apple Crow? Hmm. All right. I don't think there's another Loki behind the TVA. Apple Crow, so the TVA is Loki's all the way down to what I was trying to type. Okay. I still don't think that's the case. I still say it's Kang the Conqueror, but who knows? I could be wrong on that one too. Again, they could just be going pedestrian on it. Stanley says the only movie I'll be willing to watch inside of a movie cinema this year is Dune. Um, Black Widow, I'm not, I'll pay for it on Disney Plus. I'll pay the extra $30 on Disney Plus. I don't care. I won't go see that in the theater. The one I might see in a theater, to tell you the truth, depending on because I can watch it on HBO Max first, and then I might go see it in the theater, is Suicide Squad, James Gunn's Suicide Squad. First of all, it's got Starro in it. So Starro being the villain, that's actually one of those things I'm like, I'll go and watch that. That is so far out there as a villain, as a DC villain, that I'm like, all right, I'll go and see that. Maybe Kang is Frog Loki. Doubtful, but Stanley says I like the other Dennis. That's actually pronounced Dennis, kind of like penis, only with a D. Dennis. If you actually want Dennis, you put two N's in there. I don't know who spells it with one N. Dennis. What a Dennis. Um, Apple Crow says I'm a massive Dune head, Stanley, but I'm in Texas, so movie theaters are out for me at least this year. Yeah, I know, man. Apple Crow says right now it's bad because so many people have had their shots and stopped wearing masks, so now you don't know if someone is vaxxed or not. Oh my god. Yeah, at work, we're getting ready to start being on the honor system with masks outside buildings, not inside the buildings. And you just know those people that haven't been vaccinated are going to be doing some stupid stuff. But anyway, the French spelling is with one N. That is silent. The S is silent. So it's Denny. Actually, it's Peni, Deni. That's what it's actually pronounced as Deni, because you know if you take penis and you call peni, which is when you're doing the plural, it's not penises, by the way. It's peni. It's Deni. Then at that point, it's not Denny. It's Deni. We're going into the etymology of words. I'm sorry, it's still penis. I mean, Dennis is what it is. Put two N's in there and then we'll talk. The I is spelled correct in French, not like in English. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries, which is actually a pretty funny insult when you think about it. Apple Crow says, hey, at least our governor is getting right on the most pressing issues of the day. Yeah. Texas, the 1880s are back again. Weehaw. Um, yeah. So yeah, going back to the whole Monty Python thing, that whole thing, your mother was a hamster and your father smelled elderberries. So it's supposed to be that his father was a drunk and fucked a hamster, and he was the result, which I thought was kind of funny. But then again, that was teenage me that thought that was funny, and even now. Trying to see if there's anything else here. Oh, Jordana Brewster's back in Fast and the Furious 9. Okay. Uh, okay. Riley Keough on Zola and the potential of a Mad Max Fury Road making of movie. Okay. Again, I'm just kind of scrolling through here and I'm looking at some stuff here. Oh, that's right. Lena Dunham tackling Polly Pocket movie starring Lily Collins. Uh, oh, I don't know why Mattel wants to make a Polly Pocket movie, but hey, sure, why not? What the fuck? See, you guys are getting into politics and shit like that. I'm not getting into that. I just want to keep this as genre stuff, you know. Yes, we've been talking a little bit about vaccine and vaccinations and whatnot too, but you know, it's been a side point. Anyway, what was I talking about? Polly Pockets. Yeah, Mattel's got to stop making fucking movies on their toys. No one wants to see a Polly Pockets movie, nor do they want to see a Monopoly movie, which I believe is in the works as well. We don't want that. There's no reason for it. Any hopes for quality for Monsters at Work or Resident Evil? Monsters at Work, I think, is going to be fine. It's Disney, it's Pixar, it's on Disney Plus. It's got the original voice actors in there too, so I think it should be fairly decent. I'm not expecting it to be anything other than for kids, quite honestly. Yes, Mattel does own the Ouija board as well. They could do a decent horror movie based on the Ouija board, and I think they have tried, but I don't think they had anyone of substance working on it. Now, coming to a theater near you, Slip and Slide for Mattel. Little did Jimmy know that when he went on that slip and slide, that his day was not going to end well. See it in theaters August 13th, if you dare. Applecross, I heard Michael Bay was going to make Tic-Tac-Toe where the O's are aliens. Really? Or are you just joking? My God. Shoots and Ladders coming from Mattel. Fall of 2022. Hungry, Hungry Hippo. There's just too much shit that can be made from all of that. But yeah. But like I said, there wasn't that much this week either, news wise. So yeah. Oh, so there was another thing too. So Ben Templesmith, who's a great artist, by the way. So he and Warren Ellis, I want to say 2008. So it's been over 10 years now. They worked on a great comic called Fell. It was a series, and they didn't finish it. They had one more issue to go, or one more, yeah. And it's for Image Comics. And Templesmith ends up tweeting out that he's going to be working with Warren Ellis again to finish off Fell in for Image Comics. Now, if you've been following the whole Warren Ellis saga that's been happening in the last year, he's been embroiled in a whole bunch of grooming scandal is what's been going on. So there's a group of 60 women that have alleged that he was grooming, them and others for basically, using the mentoring kind of thing to groom these women. And so that's why you haven't seen Warren Ellis's name, why he no longer is part of Castlevania. that kind of stuff. And so there was a backlash, of course, why Warren Ellis was actually working again after a year on this. And yeah, so there was a huge backlash that was going on there with Image Comics. And now that it's canceled. So, and I guess Warren Ellis has responded to the accusations saying that he's at the start of a long road. Well, yeah, dude, I don't think your career is there anymore. So, yeah. This summer, Rob Schneider is Connect 4. What do you mean grooming? What does that mean? Basically, what he does is what grooming means, Raymond, is underage girls or underage adults. You essentially groom them for sex. That's what it is that you condition them by using them, mentoring and stuff like that, when really what it is you're waiting for them to become of an age where you can actually have sex with them. So you have a 40-year-old man having sex with an 18-year-old girl once she becomes 18. But this started when she was 14. That's what grooming is. And it happens a lot in the industry, both in the Hollywood, Hollywood, yeah, it happens quite a bit. Comic industry, it was happening for quite a long time, still is to some extent. So all of that, yeah. Exactly, Stanley. That's pretty much what it is. So yeah. Also happens in video games quite a bit too. The video game, you have women coders and storytellers, that kind of thing, and yeah, the grooming is horrible in video games as well. See, you learn something new every day when you're here. Raymond says, speaking of which, isn't there a Beast Wars movie coming out? Yeah, there is a Beast Wars. The trailer dropped for that too, the Beast Wars. There's actually been a couple trailers that have dropped. There was, of course, the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes trailer, which yeah, whatever. We talked about that one, I believe, last week. Shang-Chi, the new Shang-Chi trailer dropped, and it's got Abomination in it. So he's in a cage match with Abomination. And it's actually the Abomination from that horrible Ed Norton Hulk movie. I don't know why they kept that version of the Abomination. They've actually could have gone comic accurate with Abomination and done a really good job of it. Instead, they kept that stupid Abomination of Abomination. Yeah. Not a big fan of it. Oh yeah, and the cold open to tonight's Rick and Morty is up too as well, just in case anyone wants to see it, which is pretty funny actually. Holy shit, the decoy family's been hit. We got to pack our shit and go. The U.S. government released their whole UFO report as well, and they're like, we don't know what the fuck they are. Okay, thanks, guys. Stanley says the only MCU movie that has my interest is Black Widow. Yeah, I definitely want to see Black Widow. But I also want to see Spider-Man No Way Home as well, because that's the first start of the multiverse. And having the whole the whole multiverse thing is going to be awesome. I want to see Tobey Maguire back again, not so much Andrew Garfield, but yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Then, of course, I want to see Sam Raimi's version of Doctor Strange in Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness. And the Multiverse of Madness, I think that's what it's called. Of course, it's Sam Raimi. I mean, come on, Sam Raimi. He's doing essentially horror again. How do I feel about Venom 2? The first one was okay, Raymond. I liked the first one. It wasn't bad. I mean, except for the ending. The ending kind of sucked. I'm okay with the second one. I mean, Carnage. You've got Carnage coming in. It's not taking place in the MCU, so I mean, it is what it is at this point. Applecross says, I know it started as a joke in another cinematic universe, but I really want into the Joker verse right now. Are you talking about the comic or the one with Joaquin Phoenix? Are you talking about that? Because I mean, I don't know if you're talking about the DC comic where they had the three different Jokers that were uh, sometimes working together and sometimes fighting with each other. I don't know exactly what was going on. Again, I haven't read comics in a while, so. Applecrow says, no, us joking in chat about all the different people who we like. Oh, okay. Oh, all the Jokers. Okay. I forgot about that. Sorry. It's been a while. Yeah, I could see that. Although, some coked up Warner Brothers executive is probably going to hear about that and go, sure, that sounds like a great idea. And by the way, that noise was them snorting up a mountain of coke. Yep. Well, look at the time. I've been on for almost an hour. And I'm out of material because, that's what happens. Especially when you have a show that you don't have anything planned for. That's what this is. This is completely freeform and seat of my pants flying by my ass cheeks. Yeah, I think it could happen. But yeah, that's what that is. What's next for the DCEU? You got Suicide Squad coming out, Stanley. And they're working on Aquaman 2. Shazam 2 is in the works. Actually, Shazam 2 is filming right now, The Fury of the Gods. You got The Flash that's happening right now too. I think that's about it. So those are all in the works. Yeah, Shazam 2 does. I mean, the first movie was good. The first movie was fun, and everyone's back for the second movie, so that should be fun. They should have had the Black Widow for July 4th weekend. No, Philip, I think so. The reason why they didn't do it is everything's opening back up again, and people. So there was a backlash against Comic-Con. Comic-Con at one point was talking about doing a smaller version of Comic-Con on Thanksgiving weekend. And there was a huge backlash of people going, how dare you? That's the first holiday season or holiday that people are going to be able to get back together with their families and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dude, we're not asking you that you have to go. That's what they want. Anyway, so I'm thinking that's the same decision making tree behind not putting Black Widow out on 4th of July weekend was that, it's the first weekend where people can gather with their family and whatnot and blow shit up for, I don't know, whatever reason. So I think that's the reason why they didn't do it and put July 9th as the open day. How long is the free streaming delay for Black Widow? 3 months. 3 months. So yeah, you'll have to wait until September, if I'm not mistaken, end of September or beginning of October, one of the two. Because Riot and The Last Dragon are now available, which is a great movie, by the way. I'm just going to pay the $30 and see it on Disney Plus. It's really stupid. So I have a surround sound system, like I've said before, and I've got different settings on there. So I can make it sound like a music hall, I can make it sound like movie spectacles, whatnot. And I haven't really utilized it. And so I was fucking around with it one day and I saw that there was a spectacle portion of it. And I have Dolby Atmos speakers and everything. And it was a complete and total different change. And now I get so much more out of my speakers than I thought I was getting before. I could have been doing that all this time and I didn't. But yeah, that was stupid of me. But hey, that's my own fault. But now I get some really good sound, some really cool sound. I was just doing the basic surround sound system. But let me tell you, once you go dynamic, it's all good. All right. With that note, I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Thank you to everybody who joined me today in the chat. And thank you for made it this far in the video, this rambly ass video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. Basically, YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library right up here. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, get the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also all the links to my social media are on there, and all the links to my pages are on there as well. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again. Oh, what else do I have going on this week? I should tell you that too. Tomorrow I'll be off. Tuesday will be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And I think I'm actually going to cover Fat Man this time around. So that movie Fat Man with Mel Gibson. I think I'll do that. Wednesday, of course, will be Loki. Thursday, I'm going to be off. Friday will be Star Wars: The Bad Batch. Saturday will be Saturday Morning Blast Off. And of course, Sunday will be spoiler alert. So there we go. We roll all back around again. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again on Tuesday. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find out that, I don't know, you got 6 more weeks of winter coming. I don't know. I'm at a loss at this point. Joe Career says, will it show up in your movie anywhere queue, or do you have to buy it there in 3 months? You're talking about Black Widow? You can pre-order it now on Disney Plus. But if you're talking about when it's free, that it'll just show up in the banner at the top that it's available. That's what they're doing for Raya and the Last Dragon. You're gonna spoil Independence Day? I always spoil Independence Day. All right. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again on Tuesday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, and stay safe out there. Have a good rest of your weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday. Have a good one.